Hey man, just giving you a quick call. I just wanted to let you know that you are so close, dude. You're so much closer than you think. A lot of these big goals that we've had and these big aspirations, they're right around the corner for you, dude. So you just cannot give up. So stoked for you to see this. P.S. We bought a Lambo. So keep going, bro. We'll talk soon. Peace.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Bryson. This is the Bryson Everyday Project podcast. This podcast is a little bit different than other ones out there. Here, I only focus on documentation. I don't focus on quality or being professional or being entertaining. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd love for you to stick around and give the show a listen. You can also follow me on Instagram at BRQUSE. Thank you so much. Here's the show. It's been kind of a shitty day today, and the entire reason for that is because I got a really late start to my day. I woke up early and I was good, and then I guess I just fell back asleep. So that's on me, and because of that, I didn't really get out of bed till 9:30, and I don't like that. So started the day not too well, and then I don't know, dude. It was just I don't know. Came in and to my office, started working, probably got in 3 or 4 hours. And then I kind of just got lazy and sat on my air mattress, played some chess, and then I was just scrolling social media, and here we are. So I came back over to my desk and started getting going on some stuff. And I think I'm learning my lesson. And what I mean is I'm building this sales and lead tracker system, like a whole workflow. And rather than building it all out and then calling it good, I'm building it and then kind of documenting the workflow. So like, for example, we have lead comes in and then is set to the status of not started. When they are marked as follow-up, they'll be added to the lead follow-up funnel and have an automatic date scheduled for follow-ups at 30, 60, 90, 6 months, and 365 days. And then when you follow up with the lead, you're going to click the follow-up button to confirm you completed it. This saves the date and time and who followed up with them into this log, and a separate log called the lead follow-up log. The lead will only show up in each follow-up list if they're within 7 days past or before the scheduled follow-up date. So I'm trying to take notes or make an SOP as I go, because even just reading that again, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what happens. Cool, I got it. Because it's very easy to just throw a shit ton of stuff at the wall and then kind of forget what does what and how things are activated and what happens with this and what happens if that. It's very easy to just make a maze of stuff and then not know how to back your way out of it. So doing that's helped. And I'm really thinking into the future, and I'm thinking into how this will be used and the different circumstances that happen, or there's different scenarios. For example, hopefully when a client gets, so they come into the database and they are marked, we can say, what's the temperature? They're a cold lead. We started the DMs. What's their name? What notes do we have on them? And then based on the first contact date, we are going to message them, and we're going to click the date, and we're going to say message them today, whatever. That's the first contact date. And then we're going to have a date or a field that says how many days has it been since we contacted them. Then we have a lead source, so like Instagram, is it inbound, is it outbound, is it from a comment, is it from a poll, is it from a referral, is it from whatever. All that's not necessarily important. Don't want to give away the secret sauce as if somebody would take this. But, wow, there's a bug right here. Dude, Notion has been so goddamn buggy lately. This is actually horrible. There's not even a button here for me to click. Dude, something's going on with Notion. I'm going to have to restart my computer. People have said that helps. But anyway, I'm thinking into all the future of this. So, if a client's in the follow-up sequence, what would happen if the client, or if the lead's in a follow-up sequence, what would happen if the lead reached out to us and said something? Like, what would we do? Because that could happen. And I feel like that is likely, they could just have a change of heart. They could change their mind and say, you know what, actually, I do want some help. Let me reach back out. If they're not visible, if we can't find them, what do we do? So I have to think about that. So I guess I could dive into each possibility of outcome for a client, but I think the basis is I need to think of all the certain scenarios that could happen and then what I could do for that. So there's that, if a client if a lead, prospect, whatever, reaches back out. So how it works is the 30, 60, 90, 6-month, 1 year follow-ups, they only show you that person within seven days of that date, because there's no sense of having everybody, like, the idea is to just show you what you need to take care of today, and then that's it. But the idea, so between 30 and 60 days, there is 3 weeks between 2 months, because they're visible for 14 days, 7 before, 7 after. So there's 3 weeks where they're not visible. I guess technically 2 weeks where they're not visible. So like, what if they reach back out during that? Like, what would you do? So we have to figure that out. And then also, I would need to make it so what happens when they actually are no longer part of the follow-up sequence and we're actually talking to them again? Like, what do I got to do for that? I was like, okay, well, I got to make some kind of button where I click it and it takes them out of the follow-up sequence and puts them back into the conversation. So how do I do that? And, I got to think through that. Then I got to think through, okay, well, we got all this information for a client now, or for a prospect now. If they're going to become a client and we sold them, what do I do from there? Do I have to add this link now to the master log and then link all that shit together, make a whole new tab for, the pre-program days? Like, how do I do that? Do I need to change the master log now? And yeah, so it's honestly so, for me right now, mentally, it's just like, holy fuck, because I don't want to have to rebuild this. So I'm trying to think of every possibility, every practical possibility, and then like handle it, So all that being said, it's been fun because I'm building something from scratch, knowing I don't have to input any more data. But then the other thing is, like, I'm building something from scratch. I don't really have anything to go off of. Hopefully this works. What if it doesn't work for this person, or, and then it's like, well, what if a coach wants to do it their own way and they have different things that they do? It's like, okay, well, you probably just have to make another one or try to, I don't know, just kind of shitty. But honestly, the main reason why I wanted to start recording right now is because I think I can play these audio recordings. Yeah, I can play these audio recordings. So I sent a message to Britzy on June 20th. I said, hey, Britzy, I've clocked about 3 hours this month, unfortunately. Does this just come out of the 500 I owe, and then I pay the difference for this month? Because I currently in the CLA, I owe 500 a month. And right now, the hours that I work for PT Dom, they go for that 500, and then everything above 500, I get paid out. And so I only work 3 hours. So I'm probably going to have to pay. And she says today, hi, Bryson, I was offline, sorry. And no, you wouldn't pay us the difference. I'd rather we move it on to next month instead. So I am assuming that just means, if I didn't work at all, then by the end of it, I would just owe everything, which sucks. And then she said, that being said, we need to get you more work ASAP. Are you able to create a new progress tracking sheet, but this time for the CLA onboarding? And then a whole bunch of stuff. And then she says, but how can we build it so it makes sense? There are new students joining daily as well as graduating daily. On average, there are about 120 new students per month joining. Maybe this is something we build with Notion instead of a spreadsheet. And I was like, hell yes. And so, let's see. I sent a 3-minute long voice memo, and it says a whole lot of shit. Pretty much what I said was, I would love to. However, I read the non-disclosure agreement, and I don't want to build anything in Notion and have it be the property of PT Dom, because I'm already doing this for other coaches, and I don't want to get them intertwined, and I just don't want it to be a problem. She came back and pretty much said, that won't be a problem as long as you're not sharing the actual data of in our systems, like the system itself is fine, but the actual data don't share. And like, I'm a good human being. So for her to say that, I'm just like, yeah, no shit. But I get it. And I said, yeah, I'm so down to build this thing on Notion, but I honestly would just need this in writing or something. What if I can find where I said that? I also know that's no problem. Somebody need to pay for. Let's see. As far as just read something, but I don't want to take anything that I build. Where is it? Oh, right here. Can I not do it? So it's 57 seconds. Now, overlay too long, but yeah, I was just reading the whole thing, but I just don't want anything that I build in Notion specifically to be property of PT Dom, and for me to be in violation of that agreement if I were to take the things that I build elsewhere. Where did that make sense? So I know it's a loaded question, but I just want to do things the right way, make sure that. 57 right here. So I went back and he somehow right sorted into I built it for PT Dom, and therefore I can't use it for any other, share it or anything like that. So if I can get some kind of, I guess, written confirmation that what I'm building in Notion is in no way part of this non-disclosure, then I would feel better. But I don't want to do anything in Notion. And this is all about Notion, by the way. I don't want to do anything in Notion for PT Dom if what I'm building is now the property of PT Dom. That's pretty much what I said. And she came back and said, "Oh yeah, no problem. Probably it's not going to be. Just don't share the data." And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." And then so I went on and I said, "What we could build with Notion." And then so what did I say? Oh, because she asked me what I would be doing in Notion. I said, "Yeah, just the dashboard's the building the skeleton of the system, and you guys use it, and blah blah blah." And that's it. She says, "All right, let me double check." And I said, "I appreciate it." And then I sent this. Now, the worst they can say is no, so I don't care. Like, I'm perfectly okay if all of a sudden they said, "Oh, fuck this, we're done," and then I got fired or whatever, and I had to, I'm cool. Like, that's the worst that could happen, and I'm cool with that. So it's kind of like, all good, So I said, also, not sure if this helps in regards to the actual work for PT Dom, but it seems like what I'm doing now is working 2 to 4 hours per day for each coach that I have, that I'm helping. I do a lot more teamwork with some coaches than just building systems. For example, with one coach, one of the responsibilities is I go into the client DMs in their softwares and make sure that the responses are adequate. And with other coaches, it is strictly system building. So that's actually about Mina. Not doing that yet, but that is something we talked about. Anyway, because the requirements of each coach's hubs and dashboards are fairly similar, I'm able to keep going even after my 2 to 4 hours are up because the things I am working on for Coach A and the thing I am working on for Coach B are similar. So in terms of work output, if we only did 2 to 4 hours per day, you'd actually be getting a lot more than 2 hours of work out of me because what I build for someone else, I can usually remodel for the next person in half the time. So if I built a client compliance tracker for Coach C, I could then use that same framework for you guys and save a ton of time. A perfect example is I'm building out a sales and lead tracking for Coach A. Well, other coaches need that too, just with their own spin and personal workflows. So if I spend 6 hours building a sales workflow for Coach A, I only need to spend 1 to 2 hours for Coach B because the bulk of it is done, and vice versa for Coach C, Coach D, etc. I say all this to say it's a very good deal for PT Dom to take me up on this, laughy face. Obviously, this is a great benefit for me as well, but I wanted to present this to you under the frame of mind that the worst thing anyone can say is no. So the thought process behind that is, going off of her message, we definitely need to get you some work ASAP. And then she's saying, maybe this is something we can build in Notion. I feel like the green light is there for Notion. I've already got so much built in Notion, so that would be it would just be beneficial for everybody. Be beneficial for Mina, be beneficial for Trey, for Dawson, and be beneficial for PT Dom, because if I build something for Trey, I can repurpose that for something for PT Dom. If I build something for PT Dom, hopefully, and this is what I'm trying to get clarification on, I can then use that same thing for Mina or Dawson. And then if I build something for Dawson, I can use it for Mina, and then PT Dom, whatever. That's the whole idea. So what I feel like I'm negotiating is for I almost feel like this is, I'm being very transparent about it. So I feel very ethical and everything that I'm saying. But it's almost like I'm negotiating a salary from 4 players. I'm like, hey, if you want me to help you, that's just 2 hours a day. But I'm going to be working for 10 hours. But I just want to be paid for those hours. you know? And so everyone benefits because it's almost like I myself am the mastermind, because what one coach needs, I'm able to give them that, learn from that thing, repurpose that for another coach, take what they want, actually repurpose it into the first coach, you know, so on and so forth. So I don't feel like I need to explain this that much, but that's kind of the idea. So with this message that I sent, I said 2 to 4 hours, hoping that they're like, oh, you're not working 4 hours a day, bro. We're going to do 2. Because that's what I want. I want 2. I don't want 4. I mean, I would love 4, but I'm pushing it. But the whole idea there is that I'm already doing all this stuff in Notion. I'm already building these things out. It would be no extra. I would love it if it was all in Notion. Like I feel like I'm done with spreadsheets. Like I'm not done with spreadsheets. I would rather spend my time in here, because when I build something here, it's in perfect alignment with the thing that I'm trying to build long term. It's helping me learn more about Notion and what I can do and the possibilities, just so I can get to that next step to sell this thing high ticket. And so I just think that if I can just keep everything aligned like this, it's just a win-win for me. I think it's a win-win for everybody. I say that because I want this opportunity, but truthfully, I believe that because shit, it's like, I don't know. It's kind of, what's a good equivalent be? I don't know. It's like I'm building a Lego castle, dude. I don't know. And one coach wants me to build one tower, another coach wants me to build another tower. But in order to build all the towers, I'm going to need a base. But when I build the base, it's actually for everybody, and everybody needs the base. So it's only benefiting everybody for me to like the more, I guess in theory, the more people that I can get into this to pay, the better. Ethically speaking, of course, I'm not going to just go get like 12 more coaches and, I'm going to say I'm going to work 3 hours a day for all of you. And you know what I mean? Part of me does feel like that's fine, because yes, I am working for them, but like what I'm doing for one person, I can do for the next. So dude, that's fine. I think I'm overthinking. I'm just trying to make sure I'm doing the right thing, but I am doing the right thing. But anyway, doing all this, did some math, just, worked some numbers. And if I did, dude, what's funny is because I think part-time hours are going to be perfectly fine, because that's what Brian said from the start. It wouldn't be full-time, it would be part-time. Now, if we look back at my hours, actually for the month of May and then month of June, we can see. So in May, I worked 38 hours. So that's an average of about 10 a week. And then in April, I worked 47 hours, which is 12 a week. And then so if I'm looking at the hours, where did I see this? I don't know. So an hour a day would reach these numbers. 2 hours a day would do more than these numbers. But if we're going on part-time hours, I feel like 3 hours a day could be possible. So that would mean that right now it's 2 Mina, 2 Dawson, 4 Trey, 3 PT Dom. That's 11 hours. And truthfully speaking, I don't feel like that's crazy at all. I think that when we lay it all out like that, and it's all within the same platform, I feel like that is 100% okay. Because if we just played this out, if I got up at 6, non-negotiable every day, worked 11 hours, and there's a 2-hour gap in there or a 3-hour gap in there for the gym or whatever, I don't know, then that's 14 hours. So wake up at 6, done with everything by 8, still got about 2 to 3 hours to spare. Fucking ideal. Not to mention with all this, if I'm working 11 hours, then it's pretty close to $400 a day at the moment. And then $400 a day times 30 days, I think it's 12,000. Yeah. It's $12,000, and that would be great. Plus, right now I'm still getting paid from Hill Air Force Base, so that's $15,000 to take home per month. So that's cool. That would be ideal. Right now, obviously, I'm actually not that far off of that. Holy shit. Did I even add the PT? What the fuck did I just calculate? Dude, I'm so lost. What did I just calculate? I was looking at one spreadsheet, calculating another, but I looked at let's do this again. Oh, no, I did the hours. That's right. So, yeah, 11 hours times 31.28. That's 344 per day times 30. That's I think I went off 400. Yeah. So it'd be 344. Holy shit. Rewind. $344 a day. And then times that by 30, it's 10,322 plus my Hill Air Force Base money. So that is, what is that? 30, I think it's 3250. So we're at 13,500 a month. And obviously that's just for July, August, September. But, yeah, what was that? I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, so if we just factor in an hour a day, that's 3128 plus or times an hour or times 30 hours. That's 938 hours or $938 a month minus a 500. That's 438. So I'm profiting there because currently I have made in my financial tracker, my financial shits. Where is it? Let's pull it up real quick. I got so many spreadsheets, dude. Let's see. I put PT domination for income at $0 per month, zero income, and then I added in the expense of $500. So I'm budgeting for $500 taken out and nothing coming in from PT Dom. So that would be a $1,000 per month turnaround if I was profiting $500 and I also didn't have the $500 payment. So that's for 1 hour a day. I feel like for them to take me up on that offer, I feel like that's very, very likely because 1 hour a day, what the fuck? Like 1 hour a day. Like if we transition the work instead of, hey, can you build this? Cool, done. Into, work every day but 1 hour a day, we're going to pay for that, then I think I will just have that constant flow because I can always justify what I'm working on. Because if I'm working on one thing for one coach, that's going to be a benefit to PT Dom. So like I worked on it for them, but then in that 1 hour that's for them, I tweak it to them, add the different names, labels, logo, whatever. I feel like it's 1000% okay. Like I feel good. Intent is pure. I'm not trying to justify shit. I feel good about that. So anyway, if I worked 2 hours, then we just double that, and that would be $1,876 per month. And then if we subtract the $500 that I owe, it would be $1,376. So that would be a $2,300 turnaround per month right now, because to go from $500 owed to, well, I guess it wouldn't be, what would it be? Going from $500 owed, so we're negative 500, to then positive 1376, that is a positive 1876 turnaround. Am I doing the math right, dude? I don't know. And that would be awesome. Holy shit, I just remembered that I have a team group call. Oh, is that right now? No, that's in an hour. We're good. Shitting my pants. Dude, let's open up my calendar. What the hell? Totally forgot. God damn it. Well, anyway. I say all this because currently, like I've said, I'm not budgeting any kind of money from PT Dom, but I'm actually planning to pay $500. I actually wrote PT Dom ? Damn, LOL. That's what I wrote for so like I have all my bills. So it's like Spotify, car, student loan. It's PT Dom ? Damn, LOL. But anyway, all that being said, what I'm trying to get at, holy shit, is that even budgeting those things, no money from PT Dom, and I owe $500, I'm still positive $1,000 a month, which is so cool. And that's without Hill Air Force Base money. So that's cool as shit. Now, if you throw in, let's do a hypothetical because I made it so I can throw hypotheticals in here. So if we made PT Dom 2 hours a day minus the 500, actually I can keep that in there. It evens out. Where is the last one that I changed? So right now I'm positive $1,000 a month, or I would be, how much money could I pay off? What would that be? I would have essentially an extra, actually I need to, hold on, let's undo that. here's a better comparison. So, at the end of September, I've already budgeted everything to pay off maximum debt. So I would have been able to pay off $22,000 worth of debt, and I would have $469 left over. This is with no PT Dom money, and I pay $500. So if that goes away, oh, dude, it already is calculated. Oh, well. So with all that, if I did 2 hours a day, instead of 496 at the end of September, we would have 5,000. So I'd be able to be debt-free, but then that also means that I'm positive 2,500, almost 3,000, no, $2,800 a month positive. So I could lose a lot and still be A-okay. I could lose half of everything, all the income, and still be okay, which is pretty sick. So yeah, I could actually lose half of my income, and I would still be okay. So anyway, all that to say, hopefully they take me up on that offer, because I feel like for them, I feel like I presented it in a way that sounds good, but I don't know. I guess it depends on what they need. Because I said, just pay me 1 hour, but I'm probably going to work, like 5 hours. Just pay me 2 hours, probably going to work 8. That's kind of what I was trying to present. Don't know if I did a good job or not, but we're learning. And yeah, so I don't know. There's that. What else was I going to say? I'm not sure what else I was going to say, but I will say that, dude, I just feel like absolute shit when I sleep in, dude. Physically, I feel great. Mentally, horrible, because I'm like, what did I do? I slept in? Like, what am I doing, So if I think back to my headspace before I was fortunate enough, am I fortunate enough, or have I worked hard to get in a position to be able to take advantage of an opportunity? I think there's a distinction there. I feel like I'm lucky, but it's like, no. I put work into making this happen for myself. An opportunity arose. I took advantage of it, and now I'm reaping the benefit. There's a reason why probably only, 50 people where I work took advantage of this resignation. I don't know how many people did for the entire U.S., but how many people in a situation like me took advantage of it to then pursue their own thing? Probably not a lot, if I had to guess. I wouldn't call them lucky at all. I would just say that it's so funny when I put it into perspective. Like if I apply my situation to somebody else, like how would I judge that? I'd be like, oh fuck, they put in the work, bro. But then when it comes to me, it's like, oh no, legacy's ruined, trash, got lucky, easy road. I don't know. But where was I going with that, dude? Oh, let's fucking rewind, I guess. Hold on. Yeah, so going back to my line of thinking before I took advantage of this, it was, dude, I love the sunrise. I wish I could just, start my day and be like in the sun, because during first break at my job, I would usually go outside for a brief second, either walk across the street, grab a drink or something, and just be outside for just a sec. And I don't know, 2 minutes max. Because the nicer it gets, the more people go outside. I'm not trying to be with people outside. I want to do my own thing, and I don't want to be talked to, So anyway, I was like, dude, if I could just, go for a run. I mean, I wasn't thinking run, but now I am. But if I could just go for a run or hit the gym and get it done in the morning, walk out of the gym and the sun is rising and it's a nice day, it's crisp, I have a whole day ahead of me. I can go home, shower, get ready, knowing that I started my day off well, exercised, took care of myself, I showered, I'm feeling good, smelling, whatever. So it just kind of set the tone for the rest of the day. And it's only 8 o'clock. Hell yeah. So I think that's what I need to do. It's absolutely 100% what I need to do. And the reason why I even said that was because that was my frame of mind. It was like, dude, if I could just quit here, I would do this. And it's like, now I'm not doing it. And it's just discipline. It's just alarm goes off, get out of bed, start your day. That's it. But now that it's warmer and now that I'm actually trying to actually better my cardio, I want to run outside. I don't want to run on a treadmill. Like I want to force myself to keep a certain pace, but also I want to be outside. It's so nice. And so if I could just wake up and do that, that'd be great. But I need to wake up. I need to get out of bed. And I think 6 a.m. right now for me is a good happy medium to where I don't have to go to bed super early. And I would say super early being anything, I don't know, before 10. If there's only 3 digits in the time, I think it's early to go to bed. I don't know. Says the guy who woke up at 1:45 at one point to go outside and run a mile in the freezing cold to come home and take a nap. That was reality for a sec for me. But yeah, so I'd be going to bed around 7:30. Some horseshit. Yeah, especially because I have all this quote freedom. I don't want to make it so I'm not taking advantage of that. Like I can wake up in the morning, in the crisp early morning. I say crisp, but it's just warm, and go to the gym and come back and be done by the time the sun rises. I have the freedom to do that now. I wanted that. I dreamed about it. Now I have it. Now I'm not taking advantage of it. So I just need to get the discipline back for sure. And I need to start doing a lot more of because I feel like the last 2 months, I have been just so dialed in with work-related things, and I feel like that's paid off. As far as finances go and things like that, I'm actually very. I don't want to say that. I don't know what the word would be. I'm like relieved. Like I don't have worries right now for finances because I'm okay, and it's a great ass feeling to just not. Shit, I got to pay rent. No, that's only going to leave me with $30. Holy fuck, I have to go get gas, though. I have to put gas on a credit card, like stuff like that. And right now, I know it's not going to stay this way, but right now, like I'm even entertaining the idea of getting a new car because I'm about to pay off my current car. Like I'm about to drop like total $8,000 to just pay it off, use it as a trade-in. Like I could. But I haven't been able to do that at all. So just even the thought of being able to, unbelievable feeling for me. I've just never had that before. Now, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but it's crazy what just I'm not downplaying any amount of money, but it's like $2,000, I'm going to say that that's not a lot of money because that's a month of rent. Now, obviously that's a lot of money for rent, but you just round up for everything that you pay, all gas, all utilities, all electric, all water, all that stuff. It's $2,000, I would say, for most people. Even if your rent's like $1,400, I don't know. You throw in all the fees and all that horse shit, maybe it's $1,650. You have $100 energy, $50 water. I don't know. You're up there, okay? So if I say, here's $2,000, it's like, okay, free month of rent, cool. But if I say, here's $2,000, also your rent's paid, it's like, oh, that's a lot of money, At least that's how I think of it. So for me right now, that's how it is for me right now. So I say that to, I guess, illustrate that I've dialed so much into work right now that now the financial aspect of my life right now, and I'm really honing in on the fact that it's right now because I'm sure that will change because right now I still have that quote cushion from my job to get money, or that's bringing in money. When that goes away, all of a sudden it goes from, hey, you're playing the game now, and it's like, okay, well, I got to play. And what I mean is like how I'm making money is by advertising my expertise in a particular subject and saying, hey, hire me. I can, and it's not for any job. There's no resume. It's just, hey, I know so-and-so, I can help out. And then boom, they're a client of mine and I'm making money. So call that a different way of a 9-to-5, call that being a contractor, call it entrepreneurship. I don't really give a shit. I'm trying to do that. So because of that, I need to make sure all my shit is dialed in and that I'm in a position to thrive, not just make it to the next check, So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm just honing in on the fact that it's right now. I'm sure it'll change. sure things will get tough, but right now I just want to take advantage of this and do everything that I can. So it's a great opportunity for me to pay off a lot of debt and shit like that. You know, there's always part of me that's like, you shouldn't be paying off debt. You should be investing into this, investing all this money into greater skill sets that will pay off dividends later. You know, because if I have $25,000 in debt and I pay it off, yeah, I'm debt free, but $25,000 could get me around a lot of very powerful people. Like I go to a seminar, I just shake some hands, say, hey, what's up? I can do this, you know? Like in theory, right? $25,000 is, we'll just say 10 different seminars in 10 different cities or states or whatever. If I go to each of those and in theory, I just run into 10 people and say, hey, you know, I do this for back-end systems for coaches, blah, blah, blah. I can help your business and we can get you organized, blah, blah, blah. I can help you make an extra whatever. If I did that and I met 10 people to each of those and I had, I don't know, we'll just say one person from those 10 took me up on the offer. Ideally it would be like half, but one person times 10 seminars or whatever, 10 people, if I'm selling the thing at $5,000, that's $50,000. I just turned $25,000 into $50,000 just like that. Or I can just give $25,000 away and be debt free. You know what I mean? So that part of me always thinks that. And part of me thinks that I'm playing it safe. I don't know, dude. And if I'm being honest, when I think of things that way and I'm playing it extra safe, I'm like, dude, am I even built for business? Because it's all about risk, right? You got to take the risk. Take the leap of faith. I don't know, dude, I'm talking myself into something here. Anyway, so yeah, to recap, today's been a shitty day, and there's no other reason why it's been a shitty day other than me being lazy. I definitely need to get up and get going ASAP. Like, wake up in the morning. I need to develop some kind of, so what seems to be working for me right now is I wake up and then I go directly to my office and I just sit here and I do my work. And that's about 6 hours, you know, so 6-ish. Yeah, 6-ish to 7, or 6 or 7-ish to noon to 1-ish. Then seems like I go to the gym and then I grab some food on the way home because I'm too lazy to cook. And then I hang out for an hour or two and then I just kind of work the next 5 hours. That seems like it works great for me. But I wonder what would happen if I just kind of reversed the thing. So I woke up, handled my morning, you know, maybe ate a little something, or that wasn't a shit, by the way. That was my foot on the metal chair. And then went to the gym, came home, and then started the work day around 8-ish, you know, after already running, going to the gym, stuff like that. Because I really want to just be... I was in the backyard of my uncle's house the other day playing with their little dog, and that dog was just juking me out. And I just felt my mobility. My mobility was just not there. I felt almost stiff. I felt like in my head, I'm still a little kid on the playground. I can just juke out whoever, you know. But this fucking dog was getting me, and I'm like, dude, what happened to my knees? You know, it's like, oh, I don't train as hard in the gym as I used to. I'm like, what happened to my mobility? You know, like, oh, I don't stretch. I don't do anything like that. Why don't I have energy? It's like, well, my diet's been shit. You know? And I'm like, what the fuck? A little goddamn 20-pound dog is making me question my entire priorities of life. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to be stiff and unhealthy and stuff. Like, what am I doing? So I just want to prioritize these things the same way that I've prioritized work. And obviously, you can't do the same equally, you know? So, I mean, if you give $100 to one account, you can't then also give $100 to two accounts if you only have $100. You're going to have to split it. So, probably one of the better analogies I've had in the show. But anyway, by the way, it's 4:16 p.m. I don't know if I said that. Pretty sure I did when I was talking about the team call. But yeah, 4:16 p.m., June 23rd, Monday. Little foreshadowing here in 5 days going to be vacationing. And I don't know how this podcast is going to work. I'm going to bring my laptop and try to do everything I can, but I don't know when or how I'm going to do the show. I'm going to be with my girlfriend's parents for most of it, I would say. Like, we're going to be together for a lot of it, and that's what I believe right now. And so when am I going to do the show? I don't know, but definitely not going to let a little vacation deter me from the 20-year goal I have, because right now we are on a streak of 613 days of not missing a single show. Technically it's 612, but who gives a fuck? And yeah. I was also exploring different ways that I could have ChatGPT summarize this show, put it into a table. I copy that table into Notion, and I use Notion buttons and formulas to extract certain pieces of information and then put that into a table and a graph and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. I don't even know what I would track. I don't know the benefits of it, but I'm just trying to get ahead of this shit. I don't want to be 3,000 episodes deep, and it's like, dude, I should have done this from episode 1. What am I doing? And then I have to go and handle a 3,000. Goddamn. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm done. I'm going to go probably grab some grubs, come home, eat, shower, and then be good to go for this call. So, yep. That's it. So I'll keep you guys in the loop with how this thing goes with PT Dom. Hopefully they take me up on it. I feel like it's a no-brainer, you know. Even an hour a day would give me $1,000 turnaround. 2 hours a day would give me an $1,800 turnaround. Yeah, I think it'd be $450, and then be about $400. I don't know how this math works, dude. Anyway, hopefully they take me up on it. If not, no worries, but yeah. All right, guys, that's the show. Peace out.